Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
My name is Sonia Sousa. I'm a sophomore year occupational therapy student, and I'm going to be conducting a narrative interview with you. So, would you mind saying your name and why you seek medical services?
Well, my name is Val Vinca, and I seek services because I had patella tendonitis.
So, what type of service did you receive?
I got physical therapy.
Okay, and when was that?
That was last year in the winter time.
Okay, and how old were you when you seek the services?
19.
19. Okay, so why was it essential that you sought out services? Was there something that you couldn't do efficiently, or why was it?
Well, I was constantly on my feet at work. I run, I go to the gym, I weightlift, so I just figured that the pain that I was getting was not okay, so I needed to seek medical attention.
Okay, so it sounds like you're an active person and being on your feet is really important to you, so you really need to seek services.
Yeah.
All right, so did you feel like PT helped you, and did you feel like you saw a difference after PT?
Well, it took a couple weeks for it to actually start working. Once my muscles developed, it started to help me, and I just feel like I'm 100% now because I went to physical therapy.
What changes did you see after the therapy that you knew you progressed and you got better?
I was able to run without pain anymore. I had more strength in my knees. I was able to squat and just do everything I couldn't do before.
Oh, so it sounds like you had a really positive experience with it.
Yes.
And did you see any services prior to last year?
Yeah, during high school. I've always had patella tendonitis, but sometimes it flares out and gets even worse.
Okay.
And in high school, I had it during soccer season, and it was really bad. And I took some time off and just did some PT, and that seemed to help me, but it flared up again last year.
Oh, it did. Oh, I'm really sad to hear that. So what experience was better, the one in high school or the one last year?
The one last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
And what made it so much better?
I think the physical therapist, because I went to a different office, and I feel that the first one I went to during high school just wasn't as experienced as the one that I went to last year.
And what were some other things that made you like the PT experience so much better last year compared to in high school?
I liked the fact that they massaged the muscles last year, and they worked on strengthening, and they allowed me to progress gradually. But in high school, it was a really fast recovery.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm really glad your experience last year was so much more positive. I'm really glad that happened. So did you feel as if your PT listened to you? If you had any questions, if you had any suggestions, do you feel like you were listened to in therapy?
Yeah, they were always listening to me, always asking me if I still felt pain or where I felt it, if I felt better. They tried new things, so they actually tried acupuncture on my knee last year, and it really helped.
Yeah. So wait, what was the acupuncture experience like?
It wasn't as painful because they numbed the area a little bit, but I don't know, it felt better than what it did before, and I feel like that just had a really good effect on it.
So do you think you could have lived life efficiently without going to PT?
No.
And why is that?
Because I don't think that I would have ever gotten better. I still would have been doing exercises incorrectly. I wouldn't have had a strengthened knee. I think I just would have left exercising aside and not done anything for my knee anymore. I would have just given up on it.
Do you still do the exercises they taught you now presently?
Yeah, because they seem to help, and my muscles just keep growing from it. So.
And do you experience the tendonitis pain currently, or?
I haven't in a while.
Knock on wood for that. So were all your goals met in PT? Did you feel like you went in and you had these were your goals and you were able to achieve all of them?
Yeah. Each week I had a separate goal, so it would be to run a certain amount of time or to squat a certain amount of times, and I met the goals that I wanted to at the end of the sessions.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. So who set up the goals? Was it you, the PT, or was it you guys together? You guys
It was
came
a
up?
mutual.
Mutual?
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you guys worked together. So what were some negative times during your PT experience last year? I know it was overall very positive, but were there some times that were negative?
Just the pain that I felt at times. It was the only negative thing that there was.
Did your PT kind of bring up your spirits when you were feeling negative, or was it just?
Yeah, they always told me that I just need to put in the extra work at home, and when I go to physical therapy, and at the end of the day things would get better, and they did.
I'm glad to hear that. So have you had any bad services regarding PTs, health services, the doctors that took care of your knee, the PTs that took care of your knee, did you have any bad experiences with that?
Not last year, but in high school I did. I just feel that I never fully recovered the way that I should have, and I just kept getting flare-ups in high school. But last year I think that the physical therapist that I went to really just tried to correct my issue, and it took a little extra time, but it was worth it because I feel much better this year.
Could you elaborate on your negative experience? Was it the doctor, the PT? Was it...
It was just the exercises that they had me do. They didn't really focus on strengthening the knee. It was just do this exercise. So like they would have me do leg raises and that was it. And then I'd run on the treadmill or walk up incline, but that didn't really help the knee.
So working with your therapist to address goals that are important to you really made the experience so much better, it sounds like. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So how did your everyday life change after your injury? So regarding running, work, school.
I didn't feel as much pain anymore at work. Clearly I'll feel a little bit because I'm standing up all day. And then I was able to get back to running and doing all the exercises that I wanted to do.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I used to do beforehand.
All right. That sounds I'm really glad your experience was that great. And are there some things you still can't do now regarding your knee or?
I can't go as low when I'm squatting because that just causes issues for my knee. So I'd rather not. Lunges, my knee's a little weak in those and I feel it when I try to do one, so I just stay away from it because I don't want to hurt myself.
Okay. Would you ever go back and see your therapist again to help you with that or no?
No, because lunges aren't essential for my workout. They're just a additive extra.
So working out is like very important to you, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you go back to maybe, because I know you said lunges aren't that essential, but would you go back and seek the same services to improve that?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, but since it's not essential, I would. But.
So were there any major parts of your patella tendonitis that you probably didn't talk about, like how it happened, when you noticed it getting worse?
I noticed it when I was building up my exercises. So in high school, I think I wasn't very conditioned for soccer, and I just dove into it, so that's what really caused it. And then last year I was going to the gym and adding more weights, but I wasn't gradually getting to it. I was just adding when I was squatting and running. I just ran super fast instead of gradually going into the normal speed. So
is that something your PT talked to you about? Like,
yeah.
So
yeah,
she addressed it. Oh, she had a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like she listened to you throughout the whole therapy.
Yeah.
Were there any parts in the therapy that, I don't know, like you felt really comfortable with her? Like, wasn't so much more medical, but it was just like kind of like you guys were just talking and almost like friends?
Yeah, we were like friends. Like I was friends with the whole staff. It was really great. Everyone knew my name. We had like all these little jokes. You know, it was just great. It was a great experience. I had really good staff help me out. And
do you have any good stories you'd like to tell, like about PT? Any?
I don't know. Well, one of the physical therapists and I had this inside joke because he goes to my uncle's pizza place and he always would drink his like Albanian coffee, and so like he knew me from that. That was like an inside joke we had.
That sounds like a good. Yeah. Did you have one or several PTs?
I had 2 PTs because one of my PTs had a daughter, so she would take time off at times because she couldn't find a babysitter. So I'd have another PT, and he was really good as well.
So the switching of the PTs didn't change the whole therapy process?
No. I think it was good because everyone does things a different way, so you're exposed to more than one just healthcare.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear. I know some people who just prefer one specialist, but you like the different opinions.
Yeah, I like the diversity of the exercises.
Were there anything that the PTs did differently that varying?
One of them did acupuncture and the other one didn't.
And what did some things the other one did that the other one didn't?
One of them used massaging tools and then the other one didn't. And I like the one that didn't use massaging tools because I feel like they just like really got into my muscles.
So you didn't like the massaging?
I liked the massaging, but not with the tools.
What?
I just feel like the tools were a little painful, but like with the hands, it just really got deep into the muscle.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so how long was the PT service?
It was a couple months. It was about 3 months.
3 months. Wow.
Yeah.
And was it like every week?
It was twice a week.
Twice a week. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me, Val. I'm really
Thank
glad
you.
your PT experience was so positive the second time around, and I'm sure your PTs would love to meet with you if
Thank
you ever need to
you.
go back. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for telling me
It
your
was so
story.
nice to meet you.
It's nice
Good
to
luck.
meet you too.
Thanks.
Thank you.